So this has been around for, I want to say, almost a decade at this point. Yellow paint in video games. It's a pretty fairly recent phenomenon, and if you're not familiar with it, basically, it might be for those with not as much of an attention span. They don't care to look as much. They don't want to. Maybe they want to play the game on an easier mode. They don't want to have to play like a puzzle game and have to look through a million different things trying to figure out where one specific thing is. That is what the yellow paint would be for. It would be for like a puzzle sort of, how do I get out of this area? What do I have to find to progress? That sort of deal. It's not exact. Sometimes it doesn't have to be exactly the thing that you need, but it can be a hint instead. And I actually kind of prefer that. It doesn't just immediately give you the answer straight away. It kind of, it encourages you to try and find the answer on your own instead of just giving it to you. But anyway, if you ask me, I'm not even really a fan of it to begin with, because I would say it started popping up at least after 2016. Attention spans have been getting worse and worse. People have been fucking ruining they just been watching shorts, reels, TikTok on fucking for hours on end. It's crazy the shit they do. And then this comes over to other forms of media. It might be a TV show, it might be a video game, and it's not even necessarily about shorts or reels. I can't really put it into words very well. For me, if a game decides to have a yellow paint option, it says to me that you're catering to that audience. You don't really care. You don't want your audience to figure shit out for themselves. You just want them to be able to play it as easy and casual as possible. The journalist mode, if you will. And it rubs me the wrong way. I get it, okay? If you're playing like a really like hard puzzle game or some shit, I get it. You're stuck in an area and you cannot progress no matter what you've tried. You cannot progress. Maybe in a situation like that, but if it's an easy fucking game and its purpose is just to be there to, I can count on one hand the amount of times I've ever really been truly stuck in a game as to where I've really needed outside external help, whether that might mean a YouTube video, a guide online somewhere, crawling through forums on a website to find out the answers I need. Because most of the time I'm able to figure it out myself. And if I can't, then, and sometimes even if you can't figure it out, it might not even be on you, but on the developers of the game. Maybe they've made it too hard to begin with. If you're literally trying to find a needle in a haystack, then, of course you're gonna have trouble doing so, right? And so a lot of the time they'll just fucking cover it up with yellow paint. Oh, well, we did a million things here, but we're just gonna make some of them yellow. That way, in case you're too stupid to understand or to look or, want to look through everything, we'll make it just a little bit easier for you, it feels like the audience is being coddled. That they're being, like, they should expect this sort of shit to happen in the future. More and more games are picking up on this. More and more studios are like, okay, you know what? These successful games are doing this, so maybe we should also do this. And it's not even about yellow paint in that part. There are other features, successful features, that carry over. So it's sort of like evolution. What is successful, or in a successful game, it carries over, and what isn't doesn't. You know what I mean? Now, along with the whole yellow paint topic, there's also another one that sticks out to me, but not a lot of games do it. To make it a broader sense, they call it arachnophobia mode, for example, if it's like a horror game and they have spiders or some shit, but there's only a handful of games that specifically have that. Now, if there was like a more general, like, literal journalist mode, which I think there was, there's a story mode, for sure. But just in a general sense, it feels like things are being dumbed down. Okay, I don't like being treated that way. I don't like having that sort of shit in my games. Is it totally without cause? No. Somebody might have just gotten off of their 12-hour fucking shift at a factory. They're like, hot damn, dude. I can literally feel my life wasting away. But hey, I want to play this game on easy or story. I don't want to have a lot of difficulty because I want to get through the game and experience the story. And you know what? It's valid. It makes sense. Does that mean I have to like it? No, it doesn't mean I have to like it. Does that mean that there are actual uses for it? Of course. But not that many people really use it for its intent. Like they abuse it, man. And to circle back to the whole arachnophobia mode thing, where they'll again with the spiders, they'll just replace them with like a funny or just bland texture. That way it's not scary, okay? Because if you can't handle seeing a digital spider, I guess it's just scary as fuck to you. Hey, you know what? There's some people out there that actually have that problem. If they see a spider, even if it's on a screen, they'll have like a panic attack or some shit. But for the vast majority of people, gamers out there, they're not gonna have that issue. But to be clear, there's not even that many games out there that have that mode to begin with, but it is being talked about and people are aware of it, so, you know, it's definitely making some buzz, because it still follows that same general theme. Oh, well, so if we do this with spiders, does that mean we should do this with, like, I don't know, bees or zombies or some shit? What if people are, like, afraid? What if people are agoraphobic, you know? Should we remove water textures? Like, if they see water, they might be afraid they'll drown or something, you know? I know it's not entirely the same. I'm being kind of a dick, but do you see, like, where the lines could potentially be drawn, where they could keep extending and going on and so forth, and shit like that, you know? Because it becomes hard to eventually draw the line to say, oh, well, this is enough, whenever you're doing that sort of shit. Because there's always a group, there's always a part of society that wants in, okay? And there's always a group that feels underrepresented, no matter what you try to do. But I feel like spiders is a safe bet for sure, because a lot of people say that spiders are their top fear. On my list, I would say they're definitely up there. Would I say it's my top one? Probably not, but it is definitely up on the list. Top 5 or top 10 for sure. However, would I want an arachnophobia mode? No, because I would want to experience the original game as it was designed, not be fucking babied. I would want to play the game as it was made to be played, not a different version of it. It seems stupid to do that, to deliberately water down your own experience of a game because you don't like certain things of it. What is the point? Okay, that's like ordering a dish at a restaurant a certain way. I don't know. That's like ordering a chili cheese dog. After you get the chili cheese dog, you remove fucking everything off of it except for the hot dog and the bun. Okay, what the fuck is the point, man? You ordered a chili cheese dog, that is what you wanted, you know? Now, if you were just getting a chili dog all by itself, and you're like, okay, I'll have this with the chili, you see what I mean? Okay. It's stupid bullshit, man, and it goes on, and I'm afraid for the gaming industry. I'm afraid for video games in general. I don't know how long this shit's gonna go on for. I know video games recently haven't been doing well. Like, they won't, they're just like, in recent years, I don't even know the most recent video game I've played. Like, in terms of release order, I don't know the most recent fucking video game I've played. Every video game I've played has been, I'd say, about 2020 or older. And there's plenty of reasons for it, man. And there's not even about the shit I'm talking about in this video, man. It's just period. Like, newer games, there's just something about them. I don't know. Maybe they're just soulless, a little bit more soulless. They don't have as much going for them. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know how to say it. They're just a little bit different. It makes me worry, I'll say that.